Word, son. What do you do, YouTube? It's your boy, Jay Divine. All right, man, before we get into this video, make sure to hit the like button, comment, subscribe, share the word, spread links, because you know how I do. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, click the bell icon so you're notified every time I upload. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, man, so 2 videos in one day. Yes, I know, but I feel like I need to get this off my chest now because I'm not liking what I'm seeing from this gameplay deep dive. And I should have covered it at the time, but I wanted to let everything kind of come out so that we can address it one by one. But I got a few clips here, so we're going to talk about them and let them loop up. But without further ado, man, if you haven't already, man, make sure you sit back, chill, take a pee break, pause the video, get you some popcorn, because you know I do. Without further ado, let's get up into the first clip. All right, man, so already off the bat, the first clip, I'm seeing linemen running into each other. And not only did he even run into him, but when the play started on the screen, he didn't even engage that man to, like, disable him or to knock him off his route, something, or to clear him out, whatever. He didn't do any of that. But aside from all of that, still, you got linemen turning around and running the other way, running into each other, or they're just turning around in general rather than going up and creating daylight or trying to go block. Did any of the videos that I made ring any bells to y'all? Right? And what's crazy is that this isn't even the first instance. There are way more times in this gameplay deep dive where I've seen it. But this just scares me a lot, and it pisses me off because when I look at college football, I always start from the inside and then work my way out. I always look at the blocking first to see how that is panning out. If the blocking is good, okay, let's look at the quarterback. Let's look at the wide receivers. Let's look at the halfbacks. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. But if the blocking isn't good, if the blocking doesn't have a solid foundation, then everything else is going to crumble. But let's get into the second clip. Now, I want you guys to keep an eye on that safety up top. I've talked about several times why safeties do not need to run with their back to the quarterback to run to a zone. I've talked about that several times, EA. I've talked about it a bunch of times at this point, to the point where I'm pretty much blue in the face, right? Not only that, when he threw that ball, everybody was so locked in on that one guy that was sitting below where the ball was caught. I would say maybe 5 or 10 yards behind where the wide receiver was. Everybody was so locked in on that, and then the only time that everybody either snapped out of it and thought to go look at the ball behind them was when the ball was pretty much already in the receiver's hands. How many times have I said that cornerbacks and other DBs, safeties as well, DBs do not run with their backs to the quarterback to run to a zone. They all backpedal. They all backpedal. Why are we still running with our backs to the quarterback? Like, I'm seeing this right in front of my very eyes, and you really think that you can just pull this over my eyes? Like, I'm not going to think about it because, oh, y'all did so many different adjustments and additions. EA, I'm not stupid. I'm not dumb. I'm not any of these game changers you got in here that are so brainwashed. I'm not them. I'm not an idiot. You will never, ever have me on your game changer team because I'm way too objective. You don't want to do the hard work. I done told y'all about this several fucking times already. I swear I won't curse in this video, but it's pissing me off because it's like you're really playing me like I'm stupid. I told you several times, no DB is to turn their back to go to a zone and then turn around and sit there squared up. No DB does that. Let's go to the next clip, man. Now, this one right here was already phony enough to see a guy bowling through 2 big guys, right? Not only that, but after I bowl past these 2 guys, what the hell is 50 doing? There's only one guy. There's one guy that's ahead of me that I just got to beat him. And the guy who's supposed to be coming over from the far left side of the screen, I ain't got to worry about him. You know what I mean? I have a better chance at scoring if the guy from the far left side of the screen is the only one that's chasing me down. All I need for my lineman to do is to clean that guy up that's in front of me. If he can knock him out, clear him out of the way, I can probably jump over him, or I could probably, wiggle sticks past him and probably could score a touchdown. But I can't do that because you got my guy completely dumbing out and missing what's in front of him. Why is he running to the far left side of the field? Why is he missing what's in front of him? You are to create daylight. There's no daylight to the left of me. I'm not running to the left. I'm going strictly forward to the touchdown. whatever's in front of me, whatever's probably going to prohibit me from scoring this touchdown, my lineman, which he completely obliterated his assignment that was in front of him already at the line, now his next step is to go up to the second level, right? So that means that safety is the last dude that he needs to clean up. But however, he runs past him, and then last minute, oh, let me go run back and go get him. By that time, it's too late. Now I got to do double the work just to run the ball. You could probably say, oh, that's a great game for a first down. No, you see a touchdown when you see it. You know that it should have been a touchdown, because if you know how EA works, that play right there probably be the reason why you don't score in the goal line. That play right there probably may be the reason why you get a turnover, or you probably just walk away with a field goal, because you got to do double the work because your lineman, for some weird reason, is overrunning his assignment. Again, EA, do you think I'm stupid? Apparently, you must think a lot of people are, to put this shit inside of your gameplay deep dives and think that people are not going to notice this shit. Like, you really think that I'm stupid? You really think people are that dumb to the point where you really think that they're not going to question this? You got the wrong one, EA. You got the wrong one. You didn't learn shit from College Football 25, and it shows. Because we're going to be dealing with the same exact thing over and over. And don't even give me the whole idea, oh, it's his ratings, it's awareness, this is that. Your ratings, your awareness should not be that low, or it's got to be so high to the point where you can pinpoint one dude that's in front of you. If it was multiple guys from different angles, okay, I can understand he got to make a business decision. But if there's one guy that he has to clean up that's in front of him, between me and that touchdown, he's the only thing that's standing in front of me, that should be the immediate no-brainer to go clean that guy up so my running back can go and try to score a touchdown. Like, are we on the same page here? I guess not, but whatever. Let's go to the next clip. All right, so this is the one I had an issue with. Now, in hindsight, it sounds good where, like, shorter quarterbacks, you can't really necessarily see over the line of scrimmage or over the lineman. Okay, I get that. But at the same time, two things. Is the CPU going to be experiencing this as well? And second of all, is this only going to be solely dependent on if that wide receiver is running past a lineman that is blocking? Like, am I not going to be able to see past the gaps? Because when he threw that ball down the middle, there was a big wide open gap in the middle. So you mean to tell me that a pass such as this is going to have to be inaccurate or off target because I quote unquote can't see? Like, I don't think you guys understand how poor this sounds. Like, you're trying to make it sound so smart, it's stupid. You know what I mean? Like, granted, you have some quarterbacks that can't see over linemen. I get that. But however, they're still able to pinpoint where he is based off of, one, the timing of the route, and two, if he can see through the blocks, right? If that pocket is opening up, right? Or if there's like a pocket on either side of where it is and there's an opening, he can see that wide receiver. So I don't think that you should just completely nullify it all if he can't see past the line of scrimmage at all or past the lineman at all. There's got to be certain factors that factor in. Don't just knock it completely off because, oh, he's running on this side and he can't see on that side. I think this is a stupid idea. I really think this is a dumb idea because I find this screwing a lot of players out of a lot of passes, and I see a lot of errant pick sixes because of this. No matter how well or wide open the guy is, or no matter how well you time the route, because your guy can't see, this is what's going to happen to you. I don't like this addition. It sounded good, but it was too vague of a point for you guys to put this in the game. I see a big patch coming in the future when this game drops to kind of nerf this, because there's no way that, because I have to now invest in taller quarterbacks so I don't have to deal with that. But I'm risking getting a shorter quarterback, regardless of what his stats are. He's not gonna be able to see. Right? So where does the rating of QB vision come in, or awareness? Where does the quarterback awareness come in at? You know what I'm saying? Does that help the fact that he can't see? Is he now going to be able to see a little better because his awareness is a little higher? Or do I have to invest in taller quarterback so I don't have to deal with that? There's so many variables that y'all didn't cover when y'all were talking about that. But, again, I guess we're not on the same page. Let's go to the next clip. Now this is the one that I've talked about for years. All right. And it don't even necessarily happen in that same exact style, but just the simple fact that linemen are getting in my way. If it's not a lineman, it's a fullbacker. If it's not a fullbacker, it's a lineman, whether it's interior lineman, whether it's somebody that's out on the outside. Somebody is getting in my way. They're turning around and impeding my movement so that I can be able to go and run the fit or be able to run the damn ball so I can get positive yards. I can't do that. I got to do double the work so that I can be able to get positive gain. Like, this shit right here is baffling to me because you guys really put this in front of us and people are so content with the bare minimum. They're so content with what y'all are telling them that they'll see this and completely won't even bat an eye at it. And it's disgusting to me. This is why I don't trust college football 26. This is why I have trust issues with blocking to this day. This is why. This is why I don't like running the ball in college football. And then not only that, if I'm playing the game, right, and say, for example, if I'm down, right, and I'm trying to make that comeback, let's keep momentum and all the other shit to the side. Like, let's keep all that to the side for a second. If I'm trying to make a comeback or I'm trying to play my game and I'm actually trying to claw my way back into the lead or try to claw my way back to tie it up, I can't do that because every time I turn around, my guys are doing shit like this. So at that point, it's almost like my hands are bound together and there isn't nothing I can do but just sit there and hope that they give me a chance or they bless me with a play that, you know, they shouldn't be giving me, but they're giving it to me anyway. They're giving it to me anyway so that I can, you know, feel like I still have a fighting chance. When in all honesty, the game was already decided from the first kickoff. See, shit like this is bothering me. You know what I'm saying? Because why is it still a thing? I've made several videos talking about how blocking was terrible in college football 25, but we in 26 right now, and this is what we're still dealing with. And you have the nerve to put it in a gameplay deep dive, and nobody was supposed to say anything or nobody said anything about it. You really thought that you was going to get that off, EA. So you think that we're that stupid to the point where you're just going to just put that out there and nobody's going to say anything. But I bet money, though, the Game Changers saw this and didn't say a word. I bet you they didn't. I bet money they didn't. But it's cool. Let's keep it going. Now, I got a question about this clip here. Now, EA talked about this whole dynamic weather thing in Madden 26, right? So my question to you is this. Why didn't that transfer over to college football? And that's a genuine question because if weather is supposed to make so much of a difference in an EA Sports product, right? Why is it in one game and not the other? Why are we not getting that same big cloud of fog inside of these snow games like we got in Madden 26? Why is one showing that but not the other? They're supposed to go hand in hand, low-key. But you mean to tell me that that same cloud of fog and the same type of snow, the same type of precipitation of snow from Madden 26 is in college football 25, but the only difference is one has the screen of fog and the other one doesn't. We're playing in Minnesota, so I already know it's going to be heavy snow up there. And I'm hoping that there's a difference between light snow and heavy snow. I'm hoping that that's what it is. But from what it looks like on the ground, it looks like heavy snow. If that's heavy snow and there's no screen of fog in the background, you guys are hypocrites. You can't add that inside of Madden but don't have it in college football. Like that's some really like half-step and half-ass shit right there. And as crazy is, again, people are so blind to it that they're really not even covering, you know, they're not covering that aspect. You know what I mean? Dynamic weather should apply in both college football and in Madden, not just one or the other. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. How do you have one with snow and it be that blinding? And then on top of that, to make matters even worse, you want to talk about stadium pulse and all the other type of stuff. That should play, not that, but weather should play just as big enough factor, if not a smaller factor, in players in the way that they play in the weather, in the conditions, just like stadium pulse does. You're not going to be able to see in a heavy blizzard of snow, not blizzard, but a heavy snow type game. You shouldn't be able to see, just like how you're not able to see in Madden 26 like that. Same thing. But I'm hoping that this is light snow. If it ain't, EA, you guys are hypocrites. You guys are extreme hypocrites for that. But next clip, another iteration again of guys just not committing to their blocks. You know what I mean? You got the lineman, after he cleaned up what assignment he had in front of him, he walks forward a little bit, then turns around and go block somebody behind him. It doesn't even matter in the play. I'm not even worried about him going up there to try to get the guy that's in the end zone because there's already somebody up there as a wide receiver. But still, why is the lineman turning back around to go the other way? Your whole idea as a lineman, your main objective as a lineman is to create daylight. Now, is there anything to create here? No. But you still are supposed to go up the field. When are you to turn around and go look at something behind you? Then outside of that, you see the wide receiver that's in front because, of course, it's a screen that he threw. You see the wide receiver or I forget the name, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. But, of course, he throws that. And then there's a wide receiver that's in front of him. He's supposed to be blocking, but instead he turns around and is running away rather than him locking in and trying to, disrupt him or do something. Now, I'm not saying he's going to make an impact block, but he's supposed to help block. But he's not doing that. He runs off and does something else, and then late last minute he wants to turn around and then try to make a block happen. Now, like I said, it ain't going to make much of a difference because as you can see, the guy's already tackled. But still, let's say he made him miss, right? Now I got to still do double the work because the guys in front of me didn't want to block. Or the logic is so flawed still to the point where guys are just doing stupid shit like that. Like, again, I'm not hyped for College Football 26. You drop a gameplay deep dive, and they're doing small shit like this. But you think because all of these additions you guys are adding is supposed to be the end-all, be-all, and I'm supposed to just be happy with that? No. I see past the smoke and mirrors. I see past all of it. Now, before y'all start y'all shit about this one and the stunt and twist, since a lot of y'all just think that these stunt and twists can do no wrong, I understand that on the stunt and twist, on the stunt, the guy who's the interior nose tackle is supposed to go to the edge. The guy who's on the edge, he's twisting around the guy who's stunting, and he's supposed to pretty much, because, again, the linemen are confused. So he's supposed to use that small window of opportunity to run through where the interior tackle is supposed to be, and then the guy who's on the outside is supposed to be able to swing around and pick up on that, or either that he's going to be late. Now, I probably explained that wrong, but whatever. You get what I'm trying to say. Fuck all that. So this right here is what I'm talking about. I don't want my guy standing around just not doing nothing. You're standing there just watching him run to that hole and be able to get to my quarterback. You're not engaging. You're not trying to make an attempt to get over there. You're just fucking standing there. This is the shit I'm talking about. You're not finna sit here and tell me that these stunt and twists are good for the game when blocking itself hasn't even been fixed. I done shown you several different times where this game in College Football 26 in this deep dive where the blocking has been flawed. I've shown you several times, and most of them are from a run blocking aspect. Now I can just imagine how it's going to be for pass blocking as well. Like, shit like this is like annoying me because it's like you want to bring in these new additions for stunt, twist, and all this other stuff, but you can't even fix internally what blocking is supposed to be. The integrity of that is so compromised. You refuse to fix that, but you just want to pile on more shit on top of that to try to make it seem like, oh no, it's not working because of this, or no, he didn't block because of this guy doing this. No, you've got to fix blocking from its core first, and then we can add the extra shit after that. But no, this guy standing here like that, it makes zero sense. Right now, I would respect it a lot more if the guy did what he did in the play before this one, because on the stunt and twist, he actually went over there to try to go block. But however, when he got there, the guy was still able to swim past him, and he actually engaged with him to slow him down somewhat, but he still got the better of it and swam past him. I could respect that a lot more rather than my guy just standing there looking around, and then he just slowly trots over there to try to go fill that gap. But then by that time, it's too late. Like, you've got to stop with the fuckery, EA. You've got to stop with the bullshit. You've got to stop it. And people probably going to say, oh, well, that's not, you're not a game changer because you use profanity. They don't like that. I don't care. I do not care, bro. I promise you I don't care. Because I've given them more than enough times to tell them, hey, you guys should do this instead. I don't think that that's a better way. I've been more than professional with these guys. You know what I'm saying? At some point, it's just like you're spitting in my face at that point. Or you're taking what I'm giving you on a piece of paper, you're crumpling up and throwing it in the trash in front of me. That's exactly what you're doing at that point. But somehow the game changers aren't talking about it. I don't get it. I don't understand how these game changers are supposed to be so key and critical to EA's work, and they're supposed to be bringing the news to you guys, but neither one of them are objective. None of them are even actually speaking up to say, hey, this should be this or that should be that. None of y'all. Y'all are just regurgitating the same talking points that they gave y'all and giving y'all the videos to speak to the masses that are practically sheep and don't know what's right from wrong. That's the problem with this community, and that's the problem with college football. As long as we have community game changes like that in the community, it'll never be what it's supposed to be. Now, I wrap all this up just to say, ladies and gentlemen, don't be stupid. You know what I'm saying? EA, what I find to be pretty disrespectful is you guys are taking advantage of a community that's extremely vulnerable. And I say vulnerable in terms of the dire want and need to have a college football game. That's what it is. You're taking advantage of that, right? So with everything that I'm showing you here, you're literally showing us that, oh, we know you're stupid. We're going to put our flaws right in front of you, and I guarantee you none of you are going to even bat an eye at it, because these advances that we're showing you are going to be more important than what's in front of you. Whatever new adjustments or additions that we've added, you're going to be more focused on that than anything else. You know, it's baffling to me because I sat here and I made these videos talking about what's broken, what's flawed. I've shown examples. I've made several videos even on the same topic, but in different variations to show you that, oh yeah, this is indeed broken, or this needs to be looked at. This logic needs to definitely be looked at or reworked. Something, right? The simple fact that knowing that that's a flawed thing in college football, you still do the same shit in the gameplay deep dive. You show it right in front of our faces. And yet you're supposed to make us believe that 26 is a step up from 25 because of certain adjustments that you guys, or certain additions that you guys have added from going from 25 to 26. So you mean to tell me I'm that stupid? You think I'm that dumb to just completely overlook any issues that I said that was in 25 and look past that and look forward to the new additions that are in 26? And yeah, go to hell, man. Yeah, I want that entire team to go to hell. Because at that point, you're spitting on me at this point. You're spitting at me right in my face. You're literally taking your hand and bitch slapping me at this point. And I don't appreciate that. AD game changers, tighten up. Tighten up, game changers. Because what it is it's becoming a conflict of interest now. I'm seeing so many of y'all biting y'all tongues. I'm seeing so many of y'all just tread lightly, walking the fine line because you don't want to piss off EA or anybody at that office because you want to retain your job or you want to maintain the title of being a game changer. A game changer. Or whoever it is to whom it may concern, who are you fighting for? Do you want the community, or do you want to actually make a difference? And to any game changer that got a problem with what I'm saying, step up. I have no problem talking about these issues, and I have no problem questioning your position. Because if your position actually meant something and it actually meant giving results, we would have a totally different product by now. And I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, well, they're pressed for time, they're this and they're that, they need to prioritize better. I don't want to hear that shit. Stop making excuses for a company that has had multiple years to make a better product, and yet they keep giving us slop every single year. To any game changer that got a problem with what I just said, step up. If anybody want to send this clip to a game changer and have them come test me, send it. Because at this point, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Because the bullshit needs to stop. I'm tired of trying to, try to be professional with it. I'm sick of that shit. Because it's clear that EA does not care. And they're hiring people that feel the same exact way. With all this overly optimistic shit, knock it the fuck off, man. But let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. I'm going to get up out of here. Make sure to hit the like button, comment, subscribe, share the word, spread the links, because you know how I do. But I'm going to get up out of here, man. It's your boy Jay Divine, and I'm signing out. Peace.